Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Pro Football Corner with Nick. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont, and we got some football news popping off today. I believe this will be NFL related, but yes, this is NFL related because this is about the NFL draft. And there's been a number of colleges having pro days over the last couple of weeks. Today, the University of Miami had its pro day,
Mm.
and a lot of scouts were in attendance, as usual. Miami always has talent, even when they're not winning. But this year they were winning, and there's talent all over that field. Cam Ward is now projected to be the top overall pick in the draft. But there's some other players, and we're going to talk about one of them. For those of you new to the channel, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. For those of you who are back again, please like the video and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Nick, Xavier Restrepo
Yep.
had his pro day today at the University of Miami, and it did not go well. I'm going to show a video. This is him running his 40, and then we will talk about this.
Let's record it right here. Oh. I got a 5. I got a 5-1.
You want to do it again? I didn't time it. You timed it?
Yeah, 5-1.
Jesus, flip.
I could be wrong. I can't see.
Let's do this again.
Anything around that area, I can't be that far off. Oh, I got a late start, so it should be better. Bomb.
Okay, I got a 478. Let's do it one more time.
It's tough to see it from this angle. The other one was kind of better.
There's a lot of grunt in there, man.
20, 30, 40. 473.
I got him about 4. You got a 473?
Yeah.
I got a 496 there. Maybe I was a little bit late. Xavier Restrepo apparently today timed in at reportedly between 5. He ran a 4.9 and a 5.1.
Rudy, I don't know nothing about that. I could walk that back then in my day. When the pro day came to me, I could walk that.
He ran a 4.9 and a 5.1. You know, I've never been a guy. It's what it says. Remember we're using our finger, not a digital.
No, but is it the reports? Is this a different report? I saw 4.7s, 4.7.
I saw another report. This is number 3 sports, and they're actually giving times. Where another one says this is Draft Wire, USA Today says he ran his 240 somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.8 to 5.1 seconds. And then number 3 sports on Twitter X says he runs a 5.1 and a 4.9 at Miami's pro day.
He looks bigger though. He looks like he gained weight from the season, and that has to have a. Is he taking creatine? Is he adding water weight to his body? What is he doing? Whoever his agent is, and whoever his
it's Drew Rosenhaus, bro.
They failed him.
His agent's Drew Rosenhaus.
Because Rudy, you time yourself before this, and there's no way that these numbers right here could be that far off from what he did with his trainer. And if he did something similar to this with his trainer, he's a damn fool to come out here on pro day and say, hey, I'm gonna run this 40 rather than sitting out. I know people who were fast as hell who didn't run their 40s. I know people who's mid and they didn't run their 40s because they were nervous about situations like this. So for you to come out and just put that on tape and on film or put these to the numbers.
You had guys that just never ran their 40s?
Yes, a lot of people don't run their 40s.
Ever. And not in the NFL Combine or a pro day?
There's a couple people. Some people usually run for their school because they're a little bit more generous with the hand watch, or they want a little bit more time to prepare rather than running at the combine. Combine's a little earlier, and they usually have your pro day another month. So you're like, hey, yeah. I'm kind of weak at this, so I'm gonna take a little bit more time and make sure I got a little bit more of a friendlier watch. I'm gonna run it at my school. But for him to come out there at the school and run a 4.95 flat, and I'm gonna say the thing about him, he can always go back and say, hey, check out the film, look at me at the film, watch my film. I was highly productive. And the position that he plays, Rudy, he can get away with it because what is his short shuttle? That's all that matters for him. They're not asking for him to run go routes. They're asking him to run 5 yards out, 5 yard in, run option routes, beat linebackers in the nickel DB. So he's right in short circumferences. He's not being asked to run deep. So he can get away with it as long as he's quick and explosive in and out of his breaks, and he can get to where he need to get to for his receiver. Because I mean, Wes Welker wasn't a burner. Edelman wasn't a burner. I thought he was faster than that, though, because I seen him get away from people.
Didn't Edelman time at 4.6, 4.5?
That's not a burner.
I didn't say burner, dude. He just timed in at 5. Look, I love. This video is not being done to roast Xavier Restrepo. I love Xavier Restrepo.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it. I thought he's a first-team All-American. I thought he was the best wide receiver in the country. Yes, I thought he was the best wide receiver in the country this year. Yeah, I know you love Jeremiah Smith.
And Hunter better than him.
I don't think Hunter's better than him. I think he's a much better route runner than Hunter. I think I saw Restrepo drop two balls all year. You know, this guy has been here at Miami for his entire career. I wasn't happy that he decided to opt out of the bowl game. That did piss me off because he's the one guy that I thought would have absolutely played that bowl.
Hold on.
What?
He opted out his bowl game for what?
He opted out, yeah.
For what? What was the reason? That's what I'm getting to. He opted out his bowl game because he needed that whole week to prepare and not be injured to go out there and that extra week that obviously he probably was going to run a 5.2 then, Rudy. If he didn't have that week off from that game, from the bowl game, he might have ran a 4.2. So
this is from Sportskeeda. People are commenting here as they're pulling, that's embarrassing. Might as well apply for the XFL. One said that is absurdly bad. Another one said, dude is slower than molasses.
So why would y'all think the XFL?
Another one said MF runs like a lineman.
Yeah,
another one said UDFA, sadly. Another one said, bruh, it's offensive lineman faster than him. That's just terrible. And yeah, I now, of course, the direction shifts where it turns into, check the film.
Yes.
But you can't see if he had run a 4.3, he'd be saying, I ran a 4.3.
Rudy.
I struggle with that because if you're gonna sit here and say, look at my 40, if I ran fast, but now you're because I ran like shit. I mean, bro, that is awful. I mean, we could. There's no. He will be outrun by defensive tackles.
Yes.
In the 40 right now. Like that's. I mean, there might be a few there might be some offensive guards.
There's a couple
that could outrun him right now.
Yep.
Outrun that. I can't believe that this kid really runs a 4.85, 4.9, 5.1, 5.0, 40 from the player I saw on the field.
His tape doesn't say that. His tape says that he's a 4.6 guy, 4.5. I thought.
I've seen him outrun people. You know.
I thought on a good day he looked 4.49ish. He just from my eye test of watching him when he played for UM, I was like, yeah, that kid can move a little bit. Like he was creating separations, getting by people, running down the seam, straight down the seam, outrunning people, scoring touchdowns. I mean, at the end of the day, he has nothing else to fall back on, Rudy. He has to say, look at the film. He can't say, look at my numbers from Pro Day. That don't look good. I have to say, look at my film. I don't care what my numbers. He's going to be one of those people. I don't care what my numbers say. Go look at my film. I scored this touchdown.
How does Drew Rosenhaus spin this? Because he spun a lot. I mean, he spun that Willis McGahee thing years ago, making folks think that McGahee would be able to play and still got him drafted in the first round after his knee exploded in the national championship versus Ohio State.
So you make up an injury, you fake one. You're like, your hamstring. He was dealing with some hamstring. I'm dead ass serious, Rudy. You come up with, he was dealing with some hamstring issues early in the week, something that you really can't prove, like hamstrings.
Can't prove.
He's dealing with some hamstring injuries, but he's so tough. He's a warrior. He really wanted to come out here and give it all he got for these scouts. And we don't want to make no excuses. But here's our excuse. That's what you have to say.
No excuses, but here's the excuse.
I don't want to make no excuses, but here's the excuse. And then you have to come up with that, or you have to go back and you got to say, hey, check out. Does his film look like he's a 4.9 player? Does his film look like he's a 5.0 player? Then how is he getting separation against all these top ACC corners and they played other schools from other conferences? How is he getting separation from these guys if he runs a 5.51? And that's what you have to go with. He's the top receiver yards wise and reception wise in history. We talk about Santana Moss, Andre Johnson. We're talking about Reggie Wayne. We're talking about Shockey. We're talking about Kellen Winslow. You have to name all these players because he eclipsed all of them. And that's what you have to go by. And that's the names you have to throw out there. Because the number that you just saw was not pretty. So you have to bring up other pretty things around him to make him look better than what he put out there today.
There's one guy that said I unofficially clocked him at 4.76 and 4.83. There's an article. This is on azsports.com, A to Z Sports, and there's one line here says since 1999 there has not been a single wide receiver to run over 4.75 seconds and record 1,000-yard season on the NFL level.
Yeah, I mean,
because
you got to look. Anquan Bolden, he wasn't a burner. He had a hell of a career.
Yeah, they're saying this actually says this. If you send down to 4.7, you'll find Keenan Allen, Anquan Bolden, Jawan Jennings. But that's a little bit of a stretch when comparing size profiles. This is not just a company you want to hold when you are a 5'10", 209-pound slot receiver.
Antonio Brown ran a 4.65.
4.65 is a lot faster than 4.83.
But you got the other people say 4.76.
People, you see, we're not talking about 4.65 to 4.67. We're talking about what's literally like a 2-yard difference. 2 to 3 years. Like when people talk about 100-meter dashes and shit, and the guy and Usain Bolt's running a 9.59 world record, and you look at what the guys are running right now, and they're running a 9.8. Like that means Usain Bolt is finished, and they're still about 8 meters behind him.
Half a step. That's not that bad. It's
half a step.
It's like a whole yard, maybe a yard.
That's like a yard. That's more like fucking. That's more like 15 feet.
You think 9.5 and 9.8 is that much of a difference when you're looking at it steps wise?
I think that in terms of, you know what I mean. I mean, how many meters can you cover in one stride as a sprinter? I would guess at least 2.
Yeah.
That's 6 to 6.5 feet.
2 meters to 6 and yeah.
So you make that 15 feet. That's basically 5 meters, 5 yards. So it's 2 steps. It's like from the wall to my kitchen. On a football field, it's 4.6 and a 4.4.
But he's going to be working in.
Can he even outrun a linebacker based on that?
But it's his change of direction was going to save him. Can he get in and out of his breaks? Is he quick? I don't care about his 40. How fast is he within the 10-yard parameters? That's what I need to know from him. Like he's running 10-yard digs. He's running 10-yard outs. He might get a corner route. They might give him a bone every now and then and run a corner route or just a seam where he's just running up the middle. He might not get away from anybody, but the quarterback can put it on him. Because I expect that he could get 0 to 15 yards in a decent amount of time. And that's all you need to worry about for him, per se. He's not on the outside. He's on the inside.
How long
on the inside, Rudy, is more about your quickness and your smart.
How long do you think it takes before you hear – How long do you think before we start getting reports of a cramp or a tweaked hamstring or a tweaked groin, or he slipped out of the break out of
7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. His team will be putting out reports, and they'll be saving the day. They'll be cleaning up. They'll be doing a lot of cleanup work tonight. And making sure they put out the right story that fits. They got to just go back and look at the film and see where the moment they can say, oh, is that moment right there? That's when it changed. Or they got to go back and say, oh, the trainer, he's working with says this, that. And that's why he wasn't able to really go, because he'd been dealing with this nagging hamstring ever since he missed that game that he started preparing for this 5 flat 40. Rudy,
Yeah, I'm
When I
listening.
came out, when I came out, I can roll out of bed, run stairs, because I used to live in a 26th floor condo and I stayed on the 25th. And I used to run stairs up and down 3 times. I could do that, roll out of bed, do jumping jacks, squats, lift 500 pounds, and I could have ran a 4.6. That's just me though. I ran a 4.2, guys. I was fast as hell. That's just me. That was me. But
You see the humility he has, right, folks?
so yes, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Things that I can do, I will brag on those things. A five flat. Oh man, I was walking that, Rudy. I was walking that. In my heyday, I was walking that.
I ran that in high school.
Right now, as a 37-year-old, I'll be 37 in
But I ran
October.
that in high school. I know people won't want to believe it, but I ran that in high school.
I believe
I
that.
can't run it now,
Yeah.
but I ran that shit in high school. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason.
You got this high quality classified agent who's giving him the top training, probably training at Bomarito's more than likely. Most people, especially with Drew, they Bomarito's, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell him some techniques. I could show him the right way how to do it. You got to attack the line. You got to make sure you take the whole line. Your first 10 yards, your head should be down. Was his head down? I don't know. I got to go but look.
I heard grunting. I don't think you should ever hear grunting from people while they're running that shit.
Some people grunt, but
that means you're not relaxed.
You want to be relaxed. You want to be relaxed, like you just had a laxative. You're just smooth. Everything is
a laxative.
Yeah, you're smooth. Everything's out of you. You're just cool and you're breezing through. Everything is flowing like it should be flowing, and he was not.
No, he definitely looked on. I mean, because I remember when I had a friend of mine in high school, he ran 100, and he was our fastest guy. But they would always tell him, like, you need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
You are too intense.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
You are not relaxed.
You're fighting against running.
Yeah, and that was basically what it was basically said was like, you need to chill out. And he'd be running, was like, and like, bro, like, who are you? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm running harder. No, you're not.
No, you're slowing down. They
You're
would tell
not.
like,
You're not.
you're going slower because of this shit.
And a lot of them run flat-footed. You hear them on the ground like they're pounding. Like you're not supposed to run like.
No, he did run on his toes. Like he ran on his toes, but he would just.
Okay, well, then he just, I don't know. Maybe.
But he was running like, and I mean, dude was fast, but.
I mean, Rudy, he trained since when talking about January, early January.
The more you think about that shit, the more irritating it is that he actually
missed the game
outside of the bowl game, and that's the bullshit you put out there.
This is what you give me.
Crap. Like you opted out of a bowl game for no damn reason the day of. I know they all knew about it beforehand. They had to, because there's no way in hell that he wouldn't have gotten his ass whipped by teammates. But they announced it the day of. Mm-hmm. And that was a problem for me as a Hurricane fan, which I was like, this is some fuck shit. People don't understand how important, and I would have thought that he probably would have understood it more than anybody, how important winning that 11th game was for the program. Shit. 11 wins. Miami had won 11 wins in 20 years.
And if you're gonna do what you did at Pro Day, you might need more film to show them. You might need to show them more fucking film of what you did on the field, because you can't go back to your numbers.
Yeah, like I said, this isn't here to roast on this guy. I really love watching him at Miami, and to see that number though, it's glaring. I don't give a damn what they say.
I had him at a 3rd to 4th round pick. Where is this drop him to? 6, 7?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen him play. I've seen him play a lot. That guy is a great football player. And he's tough as shit. So, what do you value? He's, like you said, he's gonna play slot. So he's not, he's not playing on the outside. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it probably did damage him. I can't imagine it didn't damage him. I mean,
hey, Somebody's gonna get a hell of a football player.
You know,
Um,
I would hope that if it does hurt his stock, that it helps him end up in the place that he belongs, that will work for him. Because, and I don't want to say this, but sometimes being an undrafted free agent is better than being the fifth round pick.
Yes, you get to choose the system, coaches who could fit your ability, what you could do. Is a lot better than getting drafted to a situation where they have no use for you. We just drafted you because you was on the board, and you get there, you figure out the offense system doesn't fit what you do. They don't value you like that. But usually, when you're an undrafted free agent, they actually like you. They come out to get you. This is who
But you
really.
get paid but you get paid way less.
Oh yeah, the bank account's a little different. The bank account's a little
As I'm
different.
saying, like the fifth round pick situation, you're going where you're told, but
You get like
you're getting paid a lot more. You're getting paid a
100
guaranteed something.
150, 200,000 signing bonus.
Yeah, you're getting something guaranteed, and you're not getting shit guaranteed as a UDFA right
And then
now.
as an undrafted, probably the max you get is a 50K signing bonus. And that's if you're like one of the top players.
And that just pays back your agent.
Yeah, because you thought you were going third, fourth round. You probably was like, I got this.
Probably got a nice new car. Although I will say this, they have NIL, so he probably made a lot more money in
And
NIL.
push come to shove.
It's not that horrible.
Did Cam Ward get him a chain too? You could take that back. I mean, or that was just the O-line.
The reports were that Cam Ward spent over $1 million on those chains for those freaking linemen, but I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I have a hard time buying that.
Yeah,
I have a better belief that someone sponsored it, but I have a hard time believing that Cam Ward dropped over $1 million on diamond chains for his offensive lineman. Like, I just don't buy that. That's are we teaching no level of financial literacy in college? Like, with these guys getting these checks that they're getting, are they not being taught any level of financial literacy?
I think I'm different. My bankroll is going to keep coming in because I'm a great player, and it's never going to stop. So I don't have to. I worry about that a little later. I'm just telling you how it goes.
That's why 75% of all professional football players end up bankrupt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or was it 78%? I think that was the report one time.
It's a high number.
Very high. I
mean, they are teaching more classes, financial classes now. So
not at Miami, apparently. If you're buying fucking linemen, if you're trying to act like you're Tom Brady buying your line a bunch of Rolexes and shit in college, like, what are you doing, man? Like, chill out. What was it that Tua got his guys? He got him a bunch of what got him a bunch of scooters?
That what he got him?
Who was the one that bought all those scooters for all the players? Was it Tua or was it Tyreek Hill? Someone did that shit.
I don't know, but that's smarter.
Yeah.
That can't be that expensive compared to that.
Anyhow, folks, that'll do it for this edition of Pro Football Corner with Nick. I do hope Restrepo gets drafted where he wants to go. I hope it doesn't mess him up too badly, and Drew Rosenhaus pulls that miracle shit he pulled up with Willis McGahee back in the day, because I think he needs it. Huh? I would love it. I would love him with the Dolphins. Are you kidding? I would be in heaven if he played for the Dolphins. I love Xavier Restrepo. I know that man can play football.
Pittsburgh, if they ever get a quarterback.
He fits. He fits that. He's a dog. He's a worker. Yeah, if they ever get a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Their quarterback. All right, we're not going to dive into that mother. Have another team hostage another year.
I'll wait till next week to see if we actually talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of speculating on Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, yes. So irritating.
Please.
So irritating. Anyhow, folks, that'll do it. We really appreciate y'all. This is Pro Football Corner with Nick. Please be sure to like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell, leave a comment. Come on now.